No. No, 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 not in a million years do you ever do this.
I'll tell you all about it. That was real good. That was money, first of all. Let's do another.
Hey everybody, I'm Chris Knight and you are watching The Real Review 3000 here today with, call it an opinion, call it a retrospective, call it anything. But please tell me that this isn't true. Somebody has gotten the great idea here in Hollywood to remake The Princess Bride. Now, it's kind of just rumors that I guess got out somewhere. And now all of a sudden everybody is up in arms about this. Carrie Ells has spoke out against it. I'm trying to think who else. Jamie Lee Curtis, Ted Cruz even. We'll get to that later. But it's kind of like one of these things. I did a video talking about reasons and things for remakes and redos and things like that. The things you should or shouldn't do, why you should or shouldn't do them. And this goes against every one of those rules. Is it necessary? No. Is it needed? No. Do people want to see it? No. Are they going to do it right? Probably not. Now, whether you not like it or not, you have to admit that The Princess Bride is a rite of passage for movie buffs. It's like Monty Python and the Holy Grail or the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Whether or not you like those movies or not, they are almost a necessity to watch at least once in your life. It's just a need. And everybody should literally almost be required to watch this and watch these other movies that I just mentioned. I saw them in the theater when I was 12, which was the year it came out. And, you know, as a 12-year-old, you know, I liked girls, and I had these feelings for some girls. And this movie made you feel all of that. And it also made you feel like you wanted to be Wesley, and you wanted to be the Dread Pirate Roberts. You didn't want to be Prince Humperdinck or the Six-Finger Man. You wanted to be Inigo Montoya. You wanted to say that line, "Hello, my name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die." Everybody wanted to do that. There's thousands of memes out there. This movie is beloved, not just by geeks, not just by nerds, by everyone. Bikers like this movie. Stuck-up politicians like this movie. Gays, lesbians, blacks, white, Cubans, Latinos, Asians. Everybody seems to like this movie. This movie brings people together. Why would you remake it? So I saw it when I was 12 in the theater. And then I watched it sometime later as an older person, as a young adult, I guess I would say. And I noticed something immediately about this movie. It was a whole new movie for me. It changed. My life had changed, but it had changed with me. So I saw different things. I didn't feel, ooh, that's gross, or wow, this, or yay, fighting, and all this. I actually felt the story more. When I got older, after I had kids, it had a whole new meaning. Now I really realized the intricate relationship between the grandfather and the son. Somebody has to do this for him. It's like, you know, he reads it to him not because he's got nothing better to do, not because the kid wants it, but because there's a love there between the two of them, unspoken or not. Even at the end of this movie, Peter Falk says, "As you wish," which is basically, in this movie, "I love you." And that last line, I mean, Peter Falk was kind of an interesting actor, but the way he delivers it, it's almost as iconic as the "I know" of Han Solo. When you think about this movie, there's so many iconic things. People don't know, but the Admiral's hat that sits next to Fred Savage's bed in the movie was actually the hat that Rob Reiner wore during the shooting and in the shots that he was in for This Is Spinal Tap. Now, the reason why that was done is because a guy by the name of Mark Knopfler, you might know him from Dire Straits, was supposed to do the soundtrack. And at the last second, he came out and he said, "Hey, Rob, I want to ask for something." And Rob's like, "Whatever, what do you want?" And he said, "You know that hat from This Is Spinal Tap?" He says, "I want that in the movie." And Rob was like, "Okay." And so they put it in Fred Savage's room, which I think is amazing. It's just epic. There's so many little things. I mean, look at Deadpool 2. They did a parody with Fred Savage. And they made the room like exact to the room in the movie. And it's amazing. But this is the type of iconic movie this movie is. And you don't remake those. You wouldn't remake Casablanca. You wouldn't remake Gone with the Wind, would you? And I'm not trying to say that this is on par with that. I'm just saying you wouldn't do it. So the Princess Bride cast was Carrie Ells as Wesley, Robin Wright as Buttercup, Andre the Giant as Fezzik, Mandy Patinkin as Inigo Montoya, Wallace Shawn as Vicini, Billy Crystal as Max, Miracle Max, Chris Sheridan was Prince Humperdinck, Christopher Guest was the Six Finger Man, Fred Savage, of course, was the boy, Carol Kane was Valerie, which was Miracle Max's wife, and Peter Falk was the grandfather. And those were the only ones I want to mention because those are the main ones. These are the ones that had iconic scenes and things like that. And you know, you think about Miracle Max, you know, have fun storming the castle. There's so many one-liners in this, and people say it all the time to one another. As you wish. You know, there's a shortage of perfect breasts in the world to be ashamed to damage yours. Just things like that. I mean, this movie, for many of us, gives us this feeling inside. This warm, fuzzy feeling of good things. This movie is, dare I say it, perfect. Almost absolute, without question. This movie is on par with perfection. Not because it's a great, great movie, but because it hits so many different things. And the way they did it was just excellent. It wasn't about it looking perfect. It wasn't about it looking like it was, you know, not on set. It wasn't about any of that. It was just the timing of the comedy, the words that were talked, the words that were said, the dialogue, the people they picked. A perfect storm happened with this movie. So several people have tweeted, and there are several articles, which I will put all of the articles down below in the description so you can read over them yourself. But several people tweeted on this recently. In fact, yesterday was when I think I saw this, and I think it was pretty much the day it came out about this. Carrie Ells, just right off the bat, tweeted, "There's a shortage of perfect movies in this world. It would be a pity to damage this one." Jamie Lee Curtis tweeted, "Oh, really? Well, I married the Six Finger Man. Obviously, why we have stayed together for 35 years. And there's only one, The Princess Bride, and it's William Goldman and Rob Reiners. Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who tells you different is selling something." Ted Cruz, yes, Ted Cruz, the congressman, he tweeted, "No! Sonny, The Princess Bride is the greatest thing in the world except for a nice MLT, mutton, lettuce, and tomato sandwich where the mutton is nice and lean and the tomatoes ripe. They're so perky. I love that. Don't mess with perfection." Author Adam Lance Garcia tweeted, "You've fallen for one of the two classic blunders. The first being never get involved in a land war in Asia, but only slightly lesser known, never go in on a Princess Bride reboot." I liked that one. my official stance on this is no, absolutely not. Don't remake this movie. But, devil's advocate, just for a minute, I did start thinking, I was like, but if you did, there's a possible way you could do this without totally outraging everybody. Except for, I don't know how people would handle the casting and how people would like this casting. Because I'm going to tell you what my idea is if they decided to recast and do this movie again. First off, even though William Goldman is no longer alive, Rob Reiner needs to be brought back in. And he should redirect this. And then the casting should go like this. Now, I don't know all the casting, but I'm going to do something that will help this movie if it were to be rebooted. First off, Fred Savage comes back, but now he plays a father who has a daughter who's sick, and he reads the book that his grandfather read to him. Second is, Cary Elwes comes back, but he is no longer going to be Wesley. He's going to be Prince Humperdinck. Mandy Patinkin will come back as the Six-Finger Man. And Wallace Shawn will come back as Vicini again. Dye his hair. He hasn't changed a ton, and he still acts like that very well. Paul Donald Wright, who is also known as The Big Show from WWE, if you don't know. He's a wrestler, much like Andre the Giant was. He's 7 foot, not 7'4" like Andre was, but hey, he could play Fezzik. It works, makes sense. Billy Crystal would come back as Miracle Max, and Carol Kane would come back as his wife, Valerie, because they could still do it. They were aged in that, so they could probably pull it off again. By doing this, you pay homage to the original cast by using them. The other way this works is that his daughter would have a different view of who these characters were, because I always imagined it as Fred Savage as a boy imagining what these people looked like. And he put the faces to those people. So yes, they're actors, but it's in his mind. So he has made each individual character, and that's what you're being shown. So in this case, you're going to get a different portrayal of that because it's a different person. This time it would be his daughter. So it would be kind of funny to throw in that his daughter now thinks that the person who played Wesley looks like Prince Humperdinck to her. I think it would work. I think they might actually go on board with something like that because it does bring back the cast. A lot of them, at least. It's the only way I could see that it possibly would work. With that, I'm going to kind of close on this. This is a very touchy subject for me because I don't think it should be done. But I did, I hope, make a case for the possibility of maybe something that would work. If they didn't get the original cast or a lot of them in on it, they're not going to be able to make anything close to the magic that the original was, especially if Rob Reiner isn't involved. You know, he was almost a genius to do it the way he did it. But, you know, let me know what you think. The comments are down below. Give me a comment. Hey, email me. It's Chris Knight at therealreview3000.com. You'll see it at the end of this video too, and it's also, I believe, down in the description. But let me know what you think. Remember, my official stance is no. No, 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 no. Do not remake this movie. But I think I might have made somewhat of a case for a remake, as long as you do it the way I said it. It would work. Now, the rest of the casting, like I said, I couldn't tell you who to pick. I'm sure there's people that would work, but you really have to get the casting just absolutely right. And speaking of right, I tried to think of how to add Robin Wright in the recasting, and I just couldn't figure it out. And that's probably the biggest thing that bugs me, because she would have to come back too. I think I put the people out there that should be in it. Christopher Guest is a great actor, and Chris Sarandon, he did a great job as Prince Humperdinck. These two probably could find a place in this too. Where, I'm not sure. I'd love to see them, that list that I gave you all come back. Of course, Andre the Giant can't. That's why I say the Big Show would work. But I think that that's the only way you could do it, is just kind of shuffle the casting around with the original cast. Again, let me know what you think down in the comments. I may be crazy. I get blamed for that all the time, and, well, it's pretty true. So, hey, just do me a favor. Hit the like button down below. Leave a comment. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're getting really close to 300 subs. Need of just like 18 more, I think. If you know somebody that might like our content, please let them know about us. Let them come over, watch some videos. Please tell them, hey, go subscribe to this channel. I'd appreciate it very much. I care and like every one of my subs. I thank you so much for being here. Don't forget to also hit that bell so you know when we're coming out with new stuff. With that said, I'm Chris Knight. This is The Real Review 3000, and I am officially out of here.
Hey guys, thanks for checking us out. Be sure to subscribe to both channels, and make sure to check out our friends in the Fandom Minutes. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and BitChute, and you can also send us an email at sean@seanstackhousereacts.com and chrisknight@therealreview3000.com. And be sure to swing by our Teespring store to pick up some awesome merchandise.